Sometimes I feel like as a business owner and entrepreneur, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the future. And this isn't only relevant if you're a business owner, but it's relevant in our careers and our lives every single day. Overthinking about the future is something that at times we all struggle with. And other times we might feel like we can conquer the world and take on everything that life throws at us. But I think sometimes overthinking about the future actually causes us this deepened anxiety that may make us feel unworthy sometimes. But the truth is, we all go through those different seasons of life. There are highs, there are lows, and what comes with that is being overwhelmed. What comes with that is different things of trying to figure things out for yourself, trying to figure out your different purpose in life and all of the different things you want to achieve. And when you think about the future and all of the things you want to achieve, of course, things like overthinking, anxiety, depression, imposter syndrome might play a role in that season of your life. But I think also at the same time, it's just important to think about why you're actually feeling the way that you are. Oftentimes it comes down to the fact that maybe what you're doing isn't necessarily aligned with what you want to achieve in your life. Now, I know there is a time and place for everything, and I'm not saying anything that you overthink is not aligned with your life, but I am saying that sometimes the reason people overthink, it's also okay to lean into that feeling, question why you're feeling that way, question what the root cause may be, and that might open up new opportunities for you. It might open up the horizon to figure out these different things of, okay, well, I'm feeling this way because of this. And if you ask yourself those questions, if you start with those questions, that feeling of overthinking or that feeling of not being enough or not being aligned with what you want to achieve in life might actually come down to the fact that maybe there is something in your life, maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's habits. Think about all of the different aspects of your life and think, okay, well, if I'm overthinking about this, then what can I do differently in this situation to make this better, to make sure that I have more control over the situation, more control over my feelings, and more control over my thoughts. And I know that's obviously easier said than done, but our thoughts are very powerful. We have so much more control over our minds than we actually think. When we think negative thoughts, of course, it feels like shit, but we also have the ability to change those thoughts, to change the negativity, to change any thoughts that we're currently overthinking, and reframe those thoughts in such a positive way. So for example, I know in the past year that I have had a sense of imposter syndrome in my career. I graduated from college, went on this soul-searching, adventurous journey to Asia to start my freelance career and online business. I started in social media management. Shortly after I realized I wasn't in love with it, I then turned to marketing and then turned into marketing and design specialist. And ultimately, even though I was learning along the way, I was also realizing what I liked and what I didn't like. And what it turned out was, yes, I am good at marketing. Yes, clients that have hired me for marketing services have been very happy with what I offer to them. But for me as a person, why I felt so inauthentic working with marketing clients was because I genuinely didn't love the job. I didn't necessarily see myself as someone who wanted to be a marketing expert for the rest of my life. And even though I was overthinking about the future, overthinking of, oh my God, I've done this for the past year, this is what people know me as, I can't just suddenly drop this part of my business and this part of my identity, that thought originally came from the fact that I didn't want to step into the unknown because I had built the start of my career with this foundation. And even though this was the case, it doesn't mean that it was the wrong thing to do. It doesn't mean that the thoughts that I was thinking at the time were just something that I needed to push to the side because they're negative. Sometimes our most negative thoughts, our most loudest thoughts are something to be listened to. And what I realized was, even though I had built the foundation of my career with a marketing mind, I realized I was actually a lot more passionate about design. And the thoughts that I was overthinking just helped me ask myself the right questions. Could I see myself doing marketing for the long term? Could I see myself working with clients doing X, Y, Z? And the answer was a lot of times no. Yes, I was good at it. Yes, I knew a lot about different topics under the realm of marketing. But the matter of fact was that my brain and my internal self, the most authentic version of myself from the inside, was questioning this career that I had started. Moving to Asia into the unknown and just going on the hope that things would work out. And yes, it took a lot of work. It wasn't just luck, it was hard work along the way. I think the reason why it took me so long to come to terms with was that I thought that it would mean that I was a failure. And that alone didn't sit well with me, and it made me just push away the thoughts, keep continuing doing what I was doing, even though internally I was unhappy. So whenever negative thoughts come up, whenever you're overthinking, ask the really difficult questions. Think about the deepest reasons why you're feeling the way that you do. Is it your work? Is it your daily habits, or maybe your lack of habits? Is it maybe lack of exercise, or not enough alone time, or maybe doing something that you don't enjoy but feel responsible to do anyway because you made a commitment to someone else? And as someone who's an Enneagram type 9, which is a personality test if you don't know about it, I generally like to keep the peace. I generally like to avoid conflict. And because I like to avoid conflict, I'd rather just keep my mouth shut and keeping on. And sometimes that's not healthy. And sometimes there's a time and place for it to be okay. But I think the biggest reason why it's so difficult to silence negative thoughts is because ultimately things like codependency eat us up, our lack of boundaries, our willingness to go above and beyond for other people, but not our willingness to go above and beyond for ourselves. So the next time you catch yourself overthinking or thinking negative thoughts, ask yourself the most difficult questions. Journal about it, maybe meditate on it, maybe talk to a therapist, maybe talk to a friend, a parent, a brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is you trust with the feelings that you're feeling, because you're feeling them for a reason. And just because you might think they're something to just push down because maybe you don't want to feel emotions, or you just don't want to address the emotions that you're feeling, it's important to talk about them, because your emotions that you're feeling, everything that you feel is valid. So lean into it. Lean into the most difficult situations that make you feel the most uncomfortable, because from those situations you'll learn so much about yourself, so much about what you want to achieve in life, so much about why you're on this earth to begin with, so much to learn about daily habits and building a habit routine and learning what things make you happy and what things don't, whether that be people, whether that be things that you do, whether that be material goods. Whatever it may be, journal about it, think about it, and when you are overthinking, know that, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to overthink, sometimes it's okay to not be okay. And the truth is, when it comes to overthinking, when it comes to negative thoughts, the truth comes down to, what are you doing to work on yourself? What are you doing to improve your day-to-day? And if the answer is nothing, then that needs to change. Try to incorporate new habits. Try journaling. Try meditating. Try spending more time in nature. Try being more social when you feel antisocial. And at the end of the day, I think the best way we can actually control our thoughts, control our emotions, is if we actually try to do the deep work into why we might be feeling a certain way. Is it the things in our life? Is it things that have happened in our past? Is it recurring habits because a childhood trauma? What is it? Think about it, lean into it, push yourself outside of your comfort zone, and you never know what's on the other side. Maybe something beautiful is there. Maybe some new awakening will be there. Maybe some new soul purpose is there. And whatever you find, just know that your lowest of lows is just how high you can actually go. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you found value in this video. And if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment which part you loved the most. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.